What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Intolerable Podcast. I'm Will. I'm here with Sam.
Yo.
And Dexter.
Hello.
And this is episode 4. So, as I've already told you, I have just had a haircut after 6 months or so of not having a haircut. I'm talking like a robot in this podcast. No.
Oh, well, 6 months.
I think it might have been. The last one I had, I can remember, was, well, a proper haircut, was before prom, I think.
Fair enough. I feel like I had mine pretty, not long before Christmas, but it needs cutting quite badly. I think it's just grown back super quick.
Hmm.
Yeah. Really weird.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I had a relatively new haircut when we had our, Secret Santa night. I think I'd only had my haircut for, a week.
Oh, okay. Well, I mentioned how that's my last proper haircut. I was going to have a haircut on my birthday, which was beginning of November, and then I realised that it was closed, and I was just like, well, I just can't go out looking like this. So my mum decided to just grab the clippers and just, do a bit of work at the back of my head. So it didn't look long and scruffy at the back.
Fair enough.
I don't think it was too noticeable. It wasn't a
notice.
massive change, but I reckon that you could notice if you it was just how my hair was quite long before and it was poking out the sides, at the back.
Yeah.
It was like that, but basically my mum shortened it, so it was still
the
long.
Wolverine.
Well, no.
The Wolverine, that's a classic.
I can actually put my hair up like the Wolverine now that I've got shorter hair,
nice.
and it's fucking
A bit of
disgusting.
Back
Fucking hell.
quite a few years ago, Will used to kind of gel the sides of his head, his hair,
Yeah.
and it would stick out, and he'd look like Wolverine.
Yeah.
So the nickname Wolverine was
Wolverine came about.
yeah, that's why that exists.
There were also comments about the hairstyle being fashionable in Gotham, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there are a couple different variations.
Yeah.
Didn't someone
Oh, well.
who was it who made a 3D image of my hair like that?
I don't think they made it. I think they
Well,
just
it wasn't
found
like a 3D.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that one that was like a basic human head, and then it just had that fuck off huge amount of hair, just like in the Wolverine style.
Basically.
Oh dear.
What do you reckon has been your worst haircut, everyone?
Well, I've had the pebble.
Oh, yeah,
where
it
basically
that
looks.
wasn't great.
It was the one I also got for my school picture. Do you remember when
Yeah,
that school picture was my
picture is
worst?
Can you flash
It's
up an image?
Yeah, I will pop up an image right
Nice.
there. There we go. Look at that. That's beautiful. But yeah, it looks like I've got a borderline military haircut, and completely by accident, of course. And then the expression I'm pulling in my face is it looks like I both want to die, but I'm also want others to die as well. It's like I'm sitting there just with an absolute slumped face, yeah. I don't know why I even pulled that face. I can't remember hating life, even though I should have. With a fucking trim like that.
Dexter, what do you reckon your worst cut was?
Probably when I was in the in-between stage of my hair being too short to put up, but also too long to properly style in any way, so it just looked really crap.
When do you reckon that was?
Oh, I don't know, early year 12.
Okay.
I'd say.
That's fair.
Yeah, it wasn't great then.
Well, yeah, if
Yeah,
it,
you
for
just-
example, if I wanted to grow it out, it I'd have to keep it long, and it wouldn't look long enough to style be whatever, but it wouldn't, that's just in between. Just sucks.
My worst. Well, I did shave my head at one point. I don't even know, because the thing is, my hairline wasn't that bad. It wasn't
Jammy fuck.
awful. It wasn't awful when it first happened, because I just wear hats and stuff. But it was awful a month after, and I was yet to kind of get it done again, kind of at the sides and stuff.
Mhm.
So it was really short at the sides and a bit longer on the top. once that happened, it was fine. But it was that stage just before that when I was just like a fuzzy tennis ball all over.
Mhm.
That was bad. And then there's also back in like year 8 or year 9. I think it's both those years. I had just really long hair, but like not good.
I
Like it
think
was
I
bad.
remember.
It just wasn't a good
Mhm.
thing, and it was in my eyes all the time. And I think I'm slightly more flexible in my neck one way than the other because I had to just flick my hair so constantly
I think
that
in like
I
year 8
stretched
or
out the
whatever,
muscle on the right of my neck more than my left.
in year 8, you
Yeah,
must have
flip.
had like my hair. Well, the one that I just had, basically. Like long and just like kind of out of control. Basically.
Nah, because it was as long as it was on the top, almost at the
Oh,
sides. Like
really?
it really.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone had that hair. To be honest, at that point, though.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people had that kind of mid-length hair.
I don't know what the actor's name is, but he plays the fucked up one in Chronicle and Harry Osborn in Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, he just looks a bit like weird and
Mhm.
creepy. When I was sitting there getting my hair cut, I honestly looked into the mirror and that was all I could see. I was just like, Jesus, I actually look like this guy. I looked like, and because I was sitting there kind of just with a neutral face, my neutral face is kind of not angry, but it kind of looks like I'm depressed. My resting face is just like quite weird and emotionless, and literally all I could see was like, oh, these guys must think I'm a fucked up, like, I didn't want to like, or I almost said that to the person, like I was like, I look like a bit of a school shooter, but then I was like, I can't fucking say that to a I can't just say that to a hairdresser. Like, sometimes like my social like, I don't know, I haven't really been in any like school. I've been out of school for so long, and at work you kind of just say whatever, just not around the customers. So I've kind of just been like, I need to start adding that like wall, I guess, mental
No,
wall.
filter doesn't matter.
Filter, that's it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I almost fucking said, "Hey, I look like a school shooter" in front of these.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like, you will find when you do go to uni that they don't give a fuck. Like on our whiteboards in the labs, we've just got fucking huge cocks everywhere. Literally, they don't care. Like our lecturer, I don't know, I might have told you, but like when we were having a lecture the day that the Avengers Endgame trailer came out, and he got a notification on his phone. He was like, right, fuck this lecture, we're watching the trailer right now.
Legend.
I respect that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's what you get.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't had my hair cut in like 2 years, I'd say.
Ooh.
That's fair enough though, because you've just grown it.
Oh, yeah, it's just long, yeah. How long is it now?
Very.
Very.
Like, how far down your body does it go?
Let me check.
Can
You
you,
just hear-
hoist up your
you
balls
just hear-
by tying a knot just below them?
No, I can touch my nips though.
Lovely.
Ooh, okay.
I'm actually about an inch past the nip.
Jesus.
It's pretty long.
Ooh, that is
It will
long.
get to a point when I will need to trim it down a bit, because then it gets to a point where you have too much
Well,
hair.
it's different
that
for
you
you
can't
because
put it up.
you've got the saggiest nips in the world, and your nips are like knee height, so that's pretty long.
Yeah, because you've seen my nips all the time.
Oh. No,
Here, if you want to explain.
no, that was just a
Well,
little
you might
gig.
have.
That was a little giggle.
A little
Banter.
gig, a little gag, a little not
A little
not
woohoo.
shag.
What?
What?
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah, yeah.
Not that shit.
Right. I've got a couple of stories to tell. If you guys aren't otherwise,
Go for it. Bore me.
Wow. Well, I was going to tell the story of how I ended up with a part of a plate in my foot. So I haven't told
go
this story
for it.
yet.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually curious. Dexter, shut up.
I'm sorry.
So, just a regular day working. I was washing up at one point just because we had an abundance of stuff to wash up, and I was bored because I wasn't doing anything else. So I was like, hey, let's just wash this stuff up. Then I was taking like about a stack of plates from the washroom to like the other room where they've got. Is there a word for a plate warmer other than a plate warmer? That's
Plate
Just
technically
say plate warmer, that would do.
plate warmer. You know what I mean. And on the way, like after picking them up, I found that they were quite slippy because they'd just come out of the dishwasher, and I almost dropped like the stack of them, but then I managed to catch it again, and I only compromised like one tiny bowl that just fell on the floor and smashed, which was I was like, oh well, I've cut my losses here. That's not too bad. Then and I don't know how, but then about 30 minutes later, after I've put all this stuff away and I'm no longer washing, I just feel like a sharp pain in like my right big toe, and I'm like, that's weird. There must be something in my croc, because well, at work we wear Crocs. Well, we get given
Wait,
Crocs.
What?
Yeah, not just they're like black Crocs, not the ones with holes in.
I was wondering how it would.
Yeah. Wait. Do you have to wear them?
No. But like, I'd rather wear
Why
Crocs
do
than
you
like
wear
them?
I'd rather wear
They're
Crocs
fucking
than like.
Crocs, man.
I'd rather wear Crocs than. Well, they're comfy, not so slippery, and.
You sound like a 40-year-old, mate.
What I've
Oh,
still.
they're comfortable.
Everyone wears them. Well, I've got like I've.
Everyone at your work, apparently, no one else.
Fucking hell.
Well, anyway, I've got my shoes previously really dirty before, because right. So bearing in mind, batter is like really sticky, like because obviously it's liquid before you put it in a batter, the food.
Yeah.
It's like so sticky, it sticks to literally everything, and we have to clean that. And so if you get any on your proper shoes, you'll be pissed off. I've still got my pair of black Vans has still got batter all over them.
Okay, cool.
So we don't get
You
it
wear
dirty.
Crocs.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Carry on.
Right, I should probably have told that before. I kind of just assumed that. And they're not the ones with holes in either. They're like fully black, and they're like, right. I'll give me a
Send
second.
a photo to the Discord. So
Are they
just so we
basically
can have
just
a
like
bit of
some
a-
rubberized slippers?
Pretty much.
Oh, I think I know the ones you're on about. They don't have holes on the top.
No. Right, I'm sending you a picture right now.
Okay.
I have an
Yeah, 'cause
idea
you need
what
some
they're going to be like.
bit of an explanation here.
There.
Okay.
Why are you laughing at that? What's funny about that?
You've got to put that on.
Put that
You've got
photo
to cut
up.
that in.
You got
Oh my god.
What?
That's what you wear.
Yeah, of course. It's on screen.
Oh.
Why is
Are they
that?
legit as well?
What do you mean?
Are they legit Crocs?
Are they
They've got,
actual
like,
Crocs?
actual
I don't
alligator-
know. I don't really
Are they
care.
Chinese rip-offs?
I don't think they're alligators.
I bet they're crocodiles because they're called Crocs.
Well, yeah. Fucking, I don't know. They're like pretty similar to those though. I'm not gonna
Okay.
find the exact fucking brand.
Okay, but just flash that photo up for some context.
Yeah, I have.
Cool.
Right, so
carry
we
on.
were-
You wearing those.
It's completely irrelevant to the whole story. But anyway, have I bored you? Clearly, because you just
carry
fucking
on, carry on.
Anyway, so I have a look in my Crocs, in my right Croc, to see if there's any foreign objects. I'm like, maybe, I don't know, some pin fell in there or whatever. And then I open it, and literally, this image that I'm flashing up on screen now, with a fucking bit of plate hanging out of my big toe, I just go, oh.
How far in was it?
Huh?
How deep was it?
Well, it felt deep. Obviously, it didn't really hurt. The initial impact was like a little jab, and I was like, "Ooh, okay." Then I just sat down and kind of, but no. Afterwards, we just literally, I just picked it up, and it wasn't deep at all. Like it was just it was still, and it wasn't moving when I moved around my toe. So I was like, "Oh, it's probably quite deep," and I did stand on it, but no, it wasn't deep at all. And then,
Okay, that's not
bearing
so
in
bad.
mind that the socks that I wore to work that day just happened to have both my big toes falling out of them. So I was just like, okay, this isn't helpful at all. And then so what me and my mates came to the conclusion of was that when I dropped one of these plates, a tiny fragment must have fallen in my Crocs somehow, because they do not have, I repeat, do not have holes in them. So it must have fallen in where my foot went in. Yeah, it must have been gone in there. I don't know how, because we get given trousers that are like longer than my legs, times 2. I like they're so baggy. Like, if you can get in your head, I wear trousers at work that like school teachers at school, as opposed to the fucking moon.
Can you send me a photo of you with your stupidly long trousers, Crocs on,
Yes, I will
and just
later.
the rest of your uniform? Because it sounds horrible.
It's not that bad of a uniform. They're just really baggy trousers, to the extent at which school teachers would be like, "Oh yeah, those look smart." But yeah, so we just concluded that one of those fell in my Croc, and somehow took half an hour to go to the front of my Croc, and then I happened to stand on it, get into position and stand on it, and only in a place that my big toe, well, my feet, was unprotected by my sock.
It
And you
would've
could
gone
see
for
that
a
there was
sock,
a...
though,
Yeah.
like
Depends on the sock, really.
Well, thing is that I pulled it out and literally moved probably about barely a millimeter, and it came out, and it was just like, oh, like the...
It just wasn't deep at all.
No, not at all. Like, you could have breathed on it and it would have fallen out. And I was just like, oh, well, that's kind of... There wasn't like loads of blood, like, as you could see. But it was just hilarious. And I called my mates over and they were just fucking dying. Because I was just sat there with a tiny bit of plate on my foot. And they were just pissing themselves. And I was just like, yeah, it's just my luck. Yeah.
What's the worst injury you reckon you ever had?
See, I've never broken a bone. At least I don't think so. I probably would have known. Yeah, no, I'm trying to...
Unless it's like your pinky.
Yeah.
Pinky toe. Break that, not know.
You guys go first, actually. I need to think about it.
I once... So, you know, like the poles in railings?
Mm-hmm.
I was going down my stairs, and I caught my pinky toe in the railing, and then stepped forward, and I broke it out sideways, and I couldn't wear shoes for like a week. But it's only my pinky toe, so it isn't that bad. And then over time, it slowly went in. But I actually had to wear Crocs for a week. They were the only shoes I could wear that like wouldn't bug my
Crocs
toe.
are going to be the motif of this episode.
But yeah, it healed up really quick. Like, it wasn't a bad hit. Like, I was running around again in a week. I wasn't meant to. I think
Were
I
you
got
just
to wait a bit
were you just
longer,
walking
but I
really
was, like,
close to you?
7.
It was on your landing, I'm guessing, because...
What's that?
Were you on your landing?
I mean, it's
Because, like, I know by your
different house
landing...
to the one I'm in now.
Oh,
but-
right, okay. I was just trying to visualise where it was.
No, I was running down the stairs and I caught my pinky toe, and then that's like I stepped forward, it just broke out sideways, and yeah, it's pretty grim. It really hurt at first, but then when we ended up, it's kind of hilarious, like the way it looked. Like, it just looks so funny.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't that bad. Like, I've had more painful things happen, but in terms of like, that's the only thing bone related that's really occurred.
See, personally, I've never broken a bone, and I don't think I... The only thing I can think of was when I was, like, a lot younger, and I think I was with my grandparents one day or whatever. I don't know what age I was, but apparently I was, like, walking down the stairs with my granddad, and I think I just tripped over his, like, feet, and then I just fell down the stairs and, like, hit my head, I think. Apparently I had a massive, like, lump on my forehead. Hairline origins.
Fair enough. Oh, I cracked my head open once. Not
really?
badly though.
Mm-hmm.
It's really dumb. So bear in mind I'm 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're playing a game where, like, I think it's Simon Says.
Yeah.
And it's like, teacher says, well, no, Simon says, stand up. So we all stand up. The teacher then goes, yeah, Simon says, turn around. And being a bunch of 5-year-olds, we decide to just spin around loads and loads and loads. That's some of us do. I get really dizzy. And the next thing she says is Simon says, "Sit down."
Ooh.
And I tried to sit down, but I kind of like fall backwards onto my ass. And then I kind of like haven't really gained my balance at all. And I like lean back really fast, sort of thing. I don't really like my butt had hit the floor, but I was kind of still falling. Like my back was yet to hit the floor. And as I'm going back, I hit my head on a table leg, and I cracked open. Not that badly, to be honest. Like, I don't think it was that bad, but they just glued it together. Didn't need stitches or anything. I've never had stitches, but yeah, bit of glue.
You're not
and
a
it
snitch,
was
then. Snitches get fucking stitches. Anyway, on to the king of injuries himself. No, I was segueing into it.
Oh, right.
Okay.
The
Go
man,
on,
mate.
Well, the worst one's
The man
probably
himself.
torn ACL, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just sort of fucked me real good.
Whereabouts
It
is the
was,
ACL again? Is it below the knee?
It's
Back of the knee?
back of the knee, like
Okay.
the main one in the back of your knee, the main ligament,
Jeez.
anterior cruciate ligament. It was one of the games for Blues. We were against was it Cleve? It was that one game where it was really, really awful weather.
Oh, like wait, not even like weather was that bad. It was just unbelievably cold to the point where
Yeah.
people were like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving."
Yeah,
we were like down to like 10
yeah,
men.
and the game got called off. Yeah,
like 10 minutes
like,
earlier.
Yeah. But like during that game, I was going in for a 50-50 tackle, and already like my limbs were all fucking stiff and everything because it's so fucking cold. I'm going in for this 50-50, and like I get the ball first, and then this guy's leg comes flying in, and my knee just bends the complete wrong way, and fucking just destroys the ligament. And then, like at the time, I was like, literally, that is the most pain I've ever been in, like ever, and I don't think I will top it unless I get fucking like torn apart by an animal or something. But like, then I obviously went home, and then like loads of people got injured in that game or whatever, or they just did not want to play.
Some
so
people
they
just
went
left the
home.
pitch because it was so
Yeah.
cold. Yeah, like they sat in the car.
Oh, literally, like that put me out for like 6 to 9 months, and that's with like fucking physio and all that. Fuck me.
And it's still am I right in saying it's been dodgy here and there as well since?
Yeah, every now and again it would like flare up, because the surgery I had for it was a bit of my Achilles tendon was put in my knee to help like stabilize it a bit. But yeah, every now and again it flares up, like especially when I was playing regularly for Rovers. Every now and again it would flare up, but obviously because I'm not playing football like every week, a couple days every week, it's not as bad now. Because just running, it's fine because I'm not having like impact of tackles on it. So just running, it's fine.
Yeah,
but
fair
sometimes it'll flare up. But it's definitely, oh god, it was so bad.
enough.
It was so bad.
Yeah, trying to think of what my most painful thing would have been. I mean, burns always suck, and I've told the glue story.
Yeah.
That was very short pain. Like that pain didn't last long because I got to the tap pretty quick, and then it hurt. But
Well, because whenever I'm frying now, I always get burns here and there. Like I'll probably show you one or two later, but it's like some stay, some go pretty quickly. But there's like a couple of like dots on my hands and arms, where it's like not like massively. There's only like
is that when like the oil spits at you sort of
yeah,
thing?
Basically. Like sometimes it just like it depends what you're doing, but like sometimes like to put it in a kind of literal sense, if you're putting like fish and other stuff in the pan, you bearing in mind so I don't know, saying I'm putting a bit of fish in the pan to cook, it's like 180 degree oil, I think it is. and
Yeah, fair enough.
you're putting like a bit of fish that's coated in like batter, which is like liquid batter, and then you're dropping it into the pan, and like not even just dropping it, but kind of like placing it in the pan.
Yeah.
And so obviously, if a little bit of batter drops off the fish, it will probably spit up, and then it's like
Okay.
stuff like that, and then some obviously food just spits when it cooks. And like I don't know, sometimes it drops off other ways. I don't know. There's many ways you can get burns, but yeah, I just always see it. Everyone's got a couple of burns. Like I've got one mate who's been working there for 3 years, and he just doesn't really. He's not that like. He's not stupid, but he just doesn't really care if he gets like a burn here and there, and his whole arms are just like polka dotted. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Some of them, like I said, some of them are not very visible at all. But like I've got one or two that stay here. But yeah, some hurt, and it's the same with pain. Like some hurt like for 10 seconds. Some you could feel the end of the shift. It's like annoying.
Yeah, burns are, if you don't like run them under cold water quickly,
Yeah.
and for long enough, they can suck for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, because we sell sauces like gravy, mushy like peas and curry sauce as well. Whenever you spill those a little bit on your hand, it's literally a nightmare. Because, like, apparently, I don't know if this is true or not. This might just be complete bullshit. But apparently, in some wars, they use like, it might have been gravy or something like that, and they just dropped it onto troops or something like that. Because, like, imagine how hot and sticky it is, because you're not going to get it off easily. And it's the same when you're just, like, pouring it into a cup or something. You spill a little bit on your hand. It doesn't, like, it doesn't, like, run off. You have to physically, like, get a bit of, like, a towel or a little bit of paper and just knock it off.
I don't know if that's true, though. I feel like there's definitely better things you could drop.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
but I'm just, like...
dropping gas on people.
Well, it's, in like medieval castles, they've got that bit over the initial gate, don't they?
Yeah.
Where they drop like, what do they drop?
Oil, tar, all kinds of
oil,
things.
tar. That's
maybe
what
it's stuff. Maybe it's maybe I'm not thinking of like gravy. I don't know. But yeah, no, it would make sense though. Like imagine just getting dropped like thick, like probably be a waste of food, but you know, like a really thick like liquid onto you. You're not going to get it off, and it's boiling.
Yeah, it's fair.
It doesn't burn. It doesn't burn as bad in terms of like marks, but it fucking kills.
Yeah, I'd just be it's just the efficiency of it. Is it worth doing and whatnot? But yeah, the tar thing was definitely a thing in Middle Ages.
Well, Middle Ages were just fucked up anyway, so
yeah.
Oh yeah, very fucked up. They'd have torture devices that were just those fucking, basically a triangle, and you just put someone on it, and then it slowly fucking impales them in half.
brazen balls.
I would have been killed, I think, because I'm a lefty.
Yeah, kill him. Get rid of him.
Yeah. Did they kill them or just chop off their left hand?
They just did whatever to anyone really back then.
Yeah, it's a bit fucked.
Just get a woman. Oh, she's a witch. Throw her in the water with some stones.
Yeah.
If she sinks, she's a human, and she'll die anyway. If she's a witch, she'll float, and they'll kill her anyway. So, you know.
Damned if you do.
It's a win-win.
Not for her.
No.
Not for her.
Yeah,
at
who's
all.
it a win-win for, really?
Well, the people who thought she was a witch.
Yeah, I guess.
Half the time they wouldn't think she was a witch. They just wanted her dead, so they just fucking say she's a witch.
She's a witch.
That's why they did it.
Oh, this is a really bad segue. I've got another work-related story, one which happened very recently.
Go for it.
Right.
So
someone called a witch.
No, on Wednesday. So at work we have this bucket of kind of like we call it the scrump bucket because it's like scrumps and scraps. It's like basically waste batter, because whenever you like imagine cooking stuff in a pan, there's got to be like a little bit of waste solids and stuff like that. It's hard to like kind of like tell you guys about it, but so you're cooking in a pan, and when you're battering food, there's always a bit of excess batter basically, and you collect that as you go and just put it into this little scrump bin.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
at the end of the shift, you basically tip this into one of the wheelie bins. Sometimes it's like really full, sometimes it's heavy, and very heavy to carry, and sometimes it's less so. But this one night it was quite heavy, and it also caught fire at one point, because they're really, and when I say catch fire, I don't mean like physical flames, I mean just like smoking a lot, because it's like really hot batter,
yeah.
you know, quite flammable. So obviously it had been like doused in water to stop it smoking. So I was carrying it out to the bin, and because it was a bit heavy, I had like brought it up to my to my chest to pour it in the wheelie bin. But then when I pushed it against the wheelie bin lid shut, and I was like, "Fuck me, this is annoying." So so I had to put it down again, and I had to shift my grip. So imagine you're carrying like a box, with your thumbs pointing towards you and up, and you're like, do you know what I mean? It's like in front of you like that. So I had to swap it from that, because I couldn't just put it down to the ground like that, by swapping it, carrying it normally with my thumbs pointing outwards. So I was doing that. I put what, and this is still at my chest height. So I did one hand, and then I did the other, and it slipped and just fell to the ground from my chest height. And then I was like, oh shit. So it hit the ground, and like most of the scrumps were obviously covered in water, and it just spat up at me, and I was just covered in like water and excess batter. And my mate walked out and just fucking laughed at me, and it was hilarious. And then I walked inside, and it got my hair wet, like it was all over my uniform. I just walked inside, I was like, "Oh, you're right, guys."
CROCS.
Yeah, all over my damn Crocs that were spotless. Yeah.
That's quite sad.
Yeah.
Ooh. Don't people like ask for the excess batter?
They do
You
sometimes.
definitely used to be able to buy it.
What? From any
Yeah.
shop?
Yeah, my mum always said that when she lived up north, you used to always buy it with the gravy. It
I
was
feel
called,
like it would be quite
bits
an up
and
north
gravy
thing.
or something.
Well, yeah,
or
because it's a
something.
waste product. We don't sell it for any. Well, we don't sell it. We just, and we don't even offer it. But people every now and then just ask if you've got scraps, and we're like, yeah, sure. Just put them in a little bag. It's weird because you're literally eating fat. Not even like bad food like fish and chips, which isn't healthy. You're physically eating fat.
Well, yeah, people love a
Yeah.
healthy.
Delicious.
Delicieux.
Do you know if anyone's eating at Matty's or plans to? Sorry, Will.
It's
Surely
alright.
you got the thing, but
I don't know. I've already, like, I had some food like an hour or two ago, but I'm down to get some food if you want.
yeah, I'm thinking about it. Sorry,
Has anyone else got any
It
good
just
stories?
ran through my head.
Any good stories?
Relating to fish and chips, or just in
No,
general?
no, just stories.
Um,
Why do you
So
why
I
would you
do
have any
garden-
relative stories to fish and chips? That's
You never know.
I don't know. I'm at college 3 days a week, and then on Thursdays I do gardening / landscaping, whatever.
Mhm.
And recently we've been working for a guy. I won't say his name. And he was like, very recently, he's like, "Oh, I'm having my like grand niece over," and I was like, seemed innocent. He was trying to get with his grandniece, which is his brother's like granddaughter.
Oh wow.
I guess I'd say he's late-ish, mid to late 60s. She is 25.
Wait, run that by me one more time.
Christ.
They're two
He was trying to get with his brother's granddaughter.
And how old is he?
Late 60s, I had to
And
guess.
how old is she?
25. So I don't know why they're all having kids so young, because that's the only way that can happen as well. Well, depending how old his brother is, actually. Still, though.
It's all mad.
Disgusting.
It's all mad, you know.
But yeah, that was an experience I had this week.
Christ.
Yeah, it wasn't the nicest news to find out. But he comes across a bit peculiar.
No. One of them, is he?
He was wearing a hat that said retired and loving it.
Ah.
And my workmate's
Aw.
like a bit of a jokester, you know.
Mhm.
But he walks up to him and he just goes, "Oh, how's being retarded and loving it?" It's fucking great. But yeah, he has no filter.
Right.
But
My.
it's pretty fun. Yeah, I've counted a lot of weird people doing that job. Like, I don't
It
think
really
anyone
sounds like you
invented-
have.
Yeah, my boss is an odd one. Won't won't go into that. That guy who we're currently kind of doing a job for is also an odd one. Who else? There's definitely been some more. Oh, one guy who used to work with us, doesn't anymore. He did crack and went to my boss's house, and
As you do.
yeah, got fired. Which makes sense. He
Yeah.
was previously
Just
got
a
drunk
bit.
on the job a couple times, I think. So he's kind of on his way out anyway, I believe. But yeah, fun stories. Working with gardeners.
This has just been a podcast of just weird stories.
Yeah, it kind of has. Anyone got any more? Dexter, you got any weird stories to share?
Weird stories.
That you don't think we've heard about.
I'm just trying to think.
Surely uni life has got to be more exciting than.
Yeah, I mean, well, in terms of just the random shit that happens, did I tell you about when I walked into my flat one morning and there was vomit like all over the table?
You did not.
Oh.
Yeah, I walked in and there was vomit all over the table. and
That's how you tell a story.
and then I just heard a groan and I was like, hang on a minute. And then I like, because the way the kitchen's laid out is like, you walk in, you've got like the table in sort of the middle, all the like appliances and everything are on the left, fridge and like a cupboard is on the right, and then we've got like a sofa by a window at the very back.
Yep.
And you can't quite see the sofa when you first walk in. So as I was getting closer, one of my roommates was just on the sofa like fucking dying.
Oh no. It'd be funny if it was like a complete stranger.
Yeah, it would have been. Well, one time there was a complete stranger in
dear.
in our kitchen, and I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" But yeah, and I was like, "What the fuck has happened to you, Tom?" And he was like, "Oh, just not a good night. That's what." And I was just like, "Nah, yeah, that'll happen."
Clear.
And I was like, "You're gonna clean this up, right? Because that is fucking disgusting."
I've hit a point now with sick, where as long as I don't get it on me, I find it really funny. Like I've kind of been around it enough, I think.
I haven't been around
Within
too
the-
much. Like as long I don't. I find it
The
funny
levels I've been
as long
around
as I'm
has
not too
increased
close to it. It's like,
a lot.
oh, whatever. It's like in that
I don't
fucking
know, like
Filthy
back-
Frank video when they're just puking on each other. It's just like, how are you not like puking? Well, I think they do,
They are puking.
but it's just like he just continued to talk with getting puke on him, and I was just like, that's disgusting.
So in the second it touches me, I despise it. But like, I find it funny when
Yeah,
other
that's
people
fair.
throw up.
Some people are just so detached that they just don't find that kind of thing grim. I don't know how, but some people can do it.
I was once in study. You know, the studies where you're not feeling and you've just accepted you're not going to be productive.
Yeah,
Every time.
It's one of
all the
those.
time.
And me and me and Jack ended up watching a compilation of kids throwing up.
What the hell the fuck did you
Almost
not
all
get
of them.
caught?
Almost all of them were like during choir performances, and you'd have to spot this one kid.
Oh.
Like you'd be looking around, and it would slowly zoom in on this one kid who just wasn't looking so
Oh
good.
my god.
And then he'd be singing, and just puke would just fly out his mouth. Oh,
The funniest kid puking video is that guy and the kid eating what they call it, is it bean boozled or whatever it is?
oh yeah.
And then
I
he
know
just
what you're
eats it and then he's like, oh, it's like this or licorice, and then he eats it and then it's just and then it's just like they put the bass distortion over him puke and it's just like oh,
Oh,
God.
I'm gonna put it up just for context. It's beautiful. Here it is. Oh,
bring up that video.
right. Bean boozled.
God.
Growing up can be really unpleasant.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Like, thing is, when it's like a one and done deal, not so bad. Don't mind it. You just get out of the way, you're good to go.
Get it
But
done.
when you're like, you can't stand up because you know you'll just instantly puke, but then you're like,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
should I stand up just to get it out? But
Yeah.
It's dry heaving. It's like,
Yeah.
that's the worst.
Yeah.
Right, guys, listen.
That'll-
Listen.
Alright.
Got skunk spray or licorice?
Fuck's sake.
And then the caption to that video is "Kid pukes bass." The description: this kid has the deepest vocals and swallows a subwoofer.
Okay. You're a big fan of the bass boosted thing.
I love bass
really
boosted.
are.
If you want to make me laugh, it's offensive memes, SpongeBob memes, bass boosted memes, just stuff like fucking stupid stuff makes me laugh.
I feel like a bass boosted SpongeBob episode would fucking kill
Oh
you.
God.
Oh, I've started to watch YouTube poops again. Do you know what they are?
No, I don't.
It's basically someone takes a video of something, could be like an episode or something, and they just edit it so much that it's just an absolute fuckery of noise.
Have you ever heard Cassette Boy?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's
Don't
basically it's like it's like edits different. Like if someone's just saying a sentence, it's like they edit in betweeners quite a lot. Just edit them to say like I'm going to fuck my mum. It's like stuff like that.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
it's just quite funny. Well, that wasn't funny itself, but yeah, just stuff like that.
Okay. I might give it a little watch. What's it called? YouTube poop.
Well, yeah, it's that's what
There's
they're called.
absolutely
YouTube
tons of
poops.
them.
It's like
Jesus.
I was watching them in like 2012. Like
Oh Jesus.
they're
Are they
old.
still going?
Yeah.
Oh God. Ooh wee. That's too loud.
Yeah.
Zooey mama.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, Christ.
Zooey mama. Apparently,
You know what?
no, you.
We have
you go.
so little fan interaction that I actually hope we get an "oh yeah" comment.
I somehow doubt we will.
I pray we do. I pray one.
If we do, then that'll be great.
I want one little soldier from to stray from their pack,
One man
land
of
upon
the
our
army
video, and hit us with
to find his way.
Well, at the
Oh,
current
yeah.
at the current time of recording, which is just after we posted our second video, because this is our fourth, we have 17 subscribers
It's not bad.
with with a total of 178 views between the two videos, which isn't half bad.
Most of them on the first.
Most of them on the
because
first, yeah.
kind of.
First video is always going to do.
Yeah.
What's the word for?
Premiere.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
It's the pilot episode.
I knew, yeah.
Hey. Oh.
I always find that I'm the one asking the words. Word.
Yeah,
I struggle sometimes.
failing.
I think everyone does, but me at a higher rate.
Yes,
In front
I
of
think
me,
you definitely
Proven that.
have earned the title Flub Lord.
Club Lord. Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
that.
in front of me right now, I've got some of the names that we ran through before we landed the entire
Oh, do you?
podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you going to rattle them off, or?
Yeah, I'll rattle off a few.
Alright, hit
Well,
me.
I've written all of them. One that was actually pretty decent, I think, was like the Candid podcast.
That was alright, yeah.
That wasn't bad. Will's quite a big fan of oxymorons.
I don't know why I was such a big fan of that, actually. Just sounds a bit
Because
weird.
it was like morons,
Oxymorons.
which describes us well.
It's because we're all indie. You know, we're using an English term
I'm so indie, man.
to actually be an oxymoron.
What else do we come? I haven't written all of them down. I've written down one of mine, but Will wasn't a fan of it.
What was it?
I rate
No,
it.
no, 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 no.
There you go. 10 likes and we'll reveal it. It wasn't that bad, to be honest. Probably not even worth 10
Jesus.
likes.
Yeah.
But what else we come up with? I haven't written all of them down, but actually, we were just struggling for ages.
Yeah, we really were. The
Yeah.
struggles of creating a name, eh?
Took us an hour, about, I think.
Oh, probably a bit more than that.
Well, we were on.
We were
little
on
bit
a
before.
podcast about an hour, yeah.
What?
What?
We were on the podcast for about an hour, yeah. Ah.
What?
What are you on about?
Well, we weren't actually. I meant the Discord call, not the podcast. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Okay.
I just assumed that because we didn't actually. Well, I might have actually recorded us talking about that. I'm not sure.
I doubt it. No one
Probably
would want
not.
to listen to that.
Without
No, I'm
my
not saying.
consent.
Awful. Oh,
Oh, Jesus
Like-
Christ.
Sorry.
Oh.
Christ.
Money?
You've just turned away all of our viewers now by doing that. So, fuck this.
Yeah, all of our viewers who watched to the 47th minute would be so pissed
Yeah.
off with us if I did that.
Yeah. All two of them.
Yeah.
What festivals are people thinking about going to this summer?
I'd like to go to Trees, 100%. Don't know, I
Comes
just
out
smacked my
pouring.
guest.
Fair enough, Dexter.
I also just said guest instead of desk, but no, none of you heard that, so it doesn't.
Well,
I'd like to go.
Trees,
to-
ideally. Sorry.
I probably will end up going to Trees just because it's like our local one.
It's tradition.
But I'd like to do one that like because Trees is the only one I've actually done.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
about it. I did Reading for a day.
I think you would like Boardmasters.
Yeah, tempted to. Well,
It's by
no,
the
I
sea,
don't
and
think
I
it
would have
is.
gone surfing if anyone else wanted to,
Under the sea.
but no one else
Fair
did.
enough. Yeah, I think I'll have a look.
The only issue with it is it's in Newquay, which is a long way away.
How'd you get there last year?
Coach, both ways.
Fair enough.
well,
That's not too bad.
Quite a long
It was
way.
a very long coach.
Mm.
I think you're on. Yeah, how long do you reckon it took us, Sam?
I don't even know.
Just guess.
6 hours.
Took us about 7 or 8.
That's not awful.
Well, it took. Well, I don't know how, because a lot of people got there by the train, which they must have probably booked in advance or paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Me, I went down with 2 other people, and I think I remember getting up at about maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock to go to South Cerney, which is where I picked up we met the others. Then we drove to Swindon, I think, and then we caught a bus from Swindon to Bristol, and then from Bristol all the way down to Newquay. I think we arrived in Newquay around 5 o'clock, maybe,
Okay.
and I was
That's
shattered.
a good time to arrive.
Yeah. And it was
Yeah.
on. I can't remember if it was on the first, because Boardmasters is like a 5-day festival with bands on for 3 days. I'm pretty sure we arrived on the Wednesday, so that meant we had, the Wednesday night with no bands, Thursday all day with no bands, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday with bands. So it's like a nice mix, because whenever you go on Thursday to Trees, there's still bands on, So like not like you have to go, but like I think it's nice.
I Friday, Saturday.
I think it's nicer if there's a day that you can just chill out and just get used to the camp and the place.
Does mean you have to pack more though and be a bit.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and it's an extra day. Yeah, that 5-day festival took it out of me.
Can imagine. Yeah.
But going on, this was the first time I went to Trees on the Thursday for 3-day, and I do not regret it. It was so good.
Yeah, separate to like festival camping, I would like to go camping at some point.
Yeah, well, we could always give Croy to go this year. I know we were considering it late summer last year.
Yeah, we thought about it a bit last
but
year.
yeah, it was a bit late by the time we actually got around to it.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
I'd be down
just
for that.
going to another. So I kind of want to go on a trip quite far away from the UK, or outside of the UK at least.
Fair enough.
So I figured it's not a great gap year if you're just staying in the UK all year. I went to France in my gap year. Oh, fucking incredible, mate. If you guys could go to one place, or tell you what, let's go around, pick 3 places that you could pick if you want, your top 3 places you would want to travel to. In the
Oh
world.
God.
Christ.
Or maybe just one.
Oh,
For
what
me,
is
it's like West Coast America. Maybe I've wanted to go to Rio de Janeiro for a while. Not like I really really want to go there, but I'm just think like it's a nice place to go. Or it might be a nice place to go. Where else? I'm not sure about the third actually.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. There's certain ones like Thailand would be cool.
Yeah.
Iceland, Iceland at like the right time of the year.
Oh,
sort of
I've
thing.
been to Iceland. It's great.
Yeah, I'd like to go.
We kind of
tropical
saw them.
places would
Yeah.
One thing, it's not a place, but like go to the country where the World Cup is being hosted.
Yes, that would be
So it obviously
incredible.
changes, but like that could be absolutely sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it would be just because of so many people.
So where's
There's
it
so much
being?
stuff
Yeah.
happening.
Isn't it being hosted in Qatar next?
Qatar, yeah, it's going to be absolutely wank.
Fucking.
If they isn't
They
is
have
it?
to do it in like the winter, don't they? Or
Yeah,
something?
they have to do it in the winter because it's too hot in the summer.
Am I right in saying that after that in 2024
It's split between the
North
US,
America?
Canada, and Mexico.
That's going to be really cool.
That's such a huge split.
It is
in
so
terms of-
huge. Like if you wanted to go to multiple games, you'd have to travel so far.
Yeah, you
each
have to
one.
fly.
It
Well,
was similar with
I'm
Russia.
assuming that most of them are going to be taking place in America, right? But surely they would be
pretty
in the
big in
biggest
Mexico.
cities.
Yeah, Mexico's quite.
Oh yeah, you're right actually. Well,
I'm surprised that Canada's almost included in that. Like, I don't.
Well, they've got like the Seattle Sounders, they've got
Yeah, but, like,
they've got
name a
some
con-
big.
Name a Canadian footballer.
Tank Dempsey. Oh wait, he's American shit. My bad.
Also, Tank Dempsey is the character from COD Zombies.
Oh shit! Oh,
Thinking
Dexter, you
of
fool me.
Clint.
Clint.
I was about to say, I know Clint Dempsey. Who the
Tank
fuck
Dempsey.
is
I'm retaining my title. That's cringe. That's really bad. Canadian footballer.
There fucking isn't any.
You get my point. You get my point. But Mexico.
They're not
actually-
huge. Mexico, they like their football.
Yeah. So I get that. And the US is just a big place to kind of have host, really.
Yeah, they got a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, Qatar was not picked because they're a footballing nation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
There is
the
one
money.
reason and one reason only Qatar has the World Cup.
What's Qatar's like source of is it oil?
Oil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
It's like 70% of their revenue, according to Wikipedia.
What percentage of Germany's income is cars?
So
Oh,
random question, but let me Google it. Germany.
quite a lot because Volkswagen owns so much. They own
Yeah.
so many of the other cars.
Volkswagen, BMW,
Mercedes,
yeah. Is
Audi.
Volvo?
What? Oh,
No, I think Volvo is. Are they Swedish? I think Volvo might be Swedish. I don't know why I think that, but that rings a bell to me.
I'm not sure exactly.
Yes, Volvos are Swedish. Random knowledge, hell yeah. They probably make a lot because Volkswagen owns a majority of.
Apparently, so in the EU,
Mhm.
they have 31% share of the like automobiles. I think,
Mhm.
if that's right. Like 30% of the or however many percent it was of the EU's cars exports are Germans. They don't really have an
Yeah.
outright figure.
Good, that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Really crazy.
Japan make a lot of cars.
Dude,
Yes, so do US
Japan
and China.
is a lot of just technology in general, really, coming out of Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty
And
crazy.
anime.
And Logan Paul.
Sorry.
Daddy senpai.
I feel as if we need to bleach this podcast. This channel's getting fucked.
That's fine. You just need to sort out the AdSense, mate. You need to read the emails, fella.
I do.
Yeah,
Right.
they rejected us because you already have an account.
What?
Oh,
are you actually
This is
using
the big...
Look,
Oh.
we can't get all the bank we're making from these podcasts.
Well, look
Right.
at this afterwards, boys. We're currently live.
Yeah.
The people want to know about this. They want to know how.
Does
money's
anyone
made.
else have any stories before we close off this podcast? Because we're getting
Nah,
towards.
bitch, I'm out.
Dexter, are you also out?
Oh, he's actually out. Wow.
Oh wow, he's actually left.
The one left.
He'll
the
be back.
Discord.
He'll be back.
Will he though? I don't have any stories, and if I did, they're quite long ones, so it'd take up.
Well, that has been episode 4 of the Intolerable Podcast. Thank you very much for watching. It has been myself, Will, Dexter,
Yeah.
and Sam.
Who left?
He left. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you in another episode, hopefully coming very soon. Ta-ta and farewell.